Oof, I'm looking like an emotional breakdown. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited because I can finally talk about something that has been, I haven't been able to talk about because there has been some legal issues. Did I just bite off my lipstick? No, I'm okay. There has been some legal issues about this, so I haven't been able to talk about it until the legal stuff was done, which it's just finished. And I also have receipts about this, so you will be seeing some stuff. So, I want to talk about the time that I had to call the cops on my neighbor's groundskeeper because they were harassing not just me, but my mom and my dog. So, let's get into this. This happened September 7th at 10:45. I work online, not job, but I'm 17 and I'm a senior in high school, and my school is online. So I'm in the office, I'm in there and I'm like, oh, this is fine, I'm just doing school, gotta love school, stay in school kids, I'm a good influence. So I'm doing school and I hear my mom, she's like, please get off my lawn. And I'm like, oh my god, like what's going on? There's this little green strip of grass that is on the side of our house, that's our property. And then there's this fence, which is not like a duo fence, I think it's called, but like you know, you share it, like one side is this person and they can stay on that side, one side is ours and we stay on that side. It's not that, it's our fence. And then on the other side there's our. So while I hear this, I open my door and I'm like, hello, like what's going on? And my mom's doing that. I look outside the window and there's this woman and her face is pressed up against the fence and she is screaming at my dog to shut the fuck up. Like, who, what? Like, this woman is literally insane. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? Like, help. So I'm all confused. I don't know what to do. And my dog's like freaking out because, you know, if you are a dog owner, I have a lab puppy. Here's a picture. He's so cute. Sorry, what? So, I have a lab and he's a puppy and he just turned a year old in March. And so, you know, he's a handful. And if you have a lab, then you definitely know how it feels. Especially if you have a dog, you know how it feels. And you know, dogs have different kind of barks. They have like an I love you bark, the curious bark, like I don't know who you are, but I love you. And then they have the pissed off bark that's like, get away from my family or I will kill you. And that was the bark he had, and that's terrifying. Like, I've never heard my dog, his name is Scratch, by the way, not because he's like an evil dog or whatever, it's just because he's a from Scratch puppy. Long story, doesn't really matter. But he's barking, he's my baby, like this is my child, and so don't fuck with him or you're fucking with me and I will fight you. And I'm like, oh my god, like what's going on? And this woman is screaming at him. My mom's like, stay away from my dog, like please, like get away from our fence. And she's screaming, she's like, your dog barks all the time and you need to shut that dog up or I will, which is a threat. I found out. We did put a restraining order on her, and I'm gonna put that video up a little bit later, but right now I just want to talk about what happened. So she's screaming and then we're like, go away. So finally she's like all pacing, and this woman's crazy. She's walking and she's dragging her poor dog, and like I'm like, oh my god. So she's dragging her poor dog back and forth, and right next to us there is an apartment and people are leaving, and it's kind of a sketchy apartment, to be honest, because the people who live there are not, yeah, I don't know. These people are walking out and she's talking about how like, crazy we are and blah 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 blah, which I'm crazy, but I'm a different kind of crazy. No, so I'm like, bitch. So I pulled out my phone because I'm Gen Z, you know, that's how we roll. So I pull out my phone and I start recording her because, you know, I must. And I'm like watching her like drag her dog around and freak out, and then she goes back because I guess she wasn't done. So she starts screaming at us like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, like blah 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 blah. I know, she's a crazy motherfucker. So yeah, so that was the first video that you saw. And whew, I'm like, what is going on? My mom's almost in tears because she's terrified. She's one of those people who she doesn't really want to ruffle feathers. She just wants to hang out. We've already had some earlier issues with people breaking into our backyard. We've had one woman threaten to kill our dog. And it's like my dog's not allowed to be in the backyard for 5 minutes or somebody's going to threaten to kill him. And it really, 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 really sucks. Or have the cops called on them. And at this time that she's screaming at us that our dog barks 24/7, and you can ask all of them, my dog's not barking. He's just hanging out now. And we're like, lady, get off our lawn. She's like, your dog, bah! And then my mom starts almost crying. And she pulls out her phone and she starts recording. That's this video.
I'm working over here. It's illegal to stand outside and harass a dog into barking. No, I'm not. Your dog barks. And you're almost on our property. He was barking out by the curb. He barks all the time. I'm on the other side of the house. He barks. He barks non-stop. Where are the cops here? She's my witness. How your dog barks. I've asked you to step away from the fence with your dog, ma'am. Hey, I'm over on this part. You were right up against the fence with your dog. Stay right here. I'm on where I belong. You're not gonna... You were right next to our fence, which is our property. No, this is where I'm at. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm telling you, you were right on our fence with your dog. No, you were right there next to the fence with your face. Your dog barks as soon as I pull in.
I'm calling the cops.
Good. I'm waiting for you to come out your dog.
That video, as you could tell, I yell, I'm calling the cops, which came off very, like, dramatic. I'm calling the cops, like that. Don't know why. So I call the cops, and the cops get there, and, oh, by the way, she's like, I'm not leaving until you call the cops. You're pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. So, I call the cops come down, and they don't seem surprised. They've had this happen before. Like, this woman has, like, fought before. And, like, this guy was smoking outside, and she came up and started freaking out at him, like, this close to his face type of thing, and, like, yelling how, his, like, cigarette butts are everywhere, and he's a piece of shit, and that he should die, and all this stuff. And he's like, bitch, get away from me, like, and then they start fighting and throwing F-bombs, and then my dad gets mad because my dad's one of those that doesn't really like cussing, so he's like, hey guys, shut the fuck up or I'll call the cops. Ironic, no, I'm kidding. He didn't say that, but he's like, I will call the cops, and he did. And we don't really call the cops. We don't really do that stuff. You know, like, why? Because we've lived in the same house for 14 years, and we are the owner of the house is like, they're like the dream renters. So the cops get there, and we talk to the cops. There's two cops. There's one talking to the crazy lady, and there's one talking to us. And we're just like, yeah, like, I don't know what happened. She just started going off. And then she's over there like, you know, ask anybody if they yell, they bark 24/7. That woman, and she's like pointing at my mom, was leaning out the window screaming at me. And like, as you could tell by the video, like, she wasn't. And none of us were. And I was like, I have a video, if you want to see it. Like, she obviously wasn't leaning out the window screaming. And the guy was like, oh, I know, she does this all the time, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I always have to hear this dog bark and scream. That's when my mom got annoyed and turned around and was like, you don't even live here! You don't even live here! Exactly. She doesn't live there. She doesn't live in that apartment at all. Yeah, she says that this dog barks 24/7, and she only comes like monthly. I know that she comes monthly because it's like the same day that I have to hear her bullshit screaming. By the way, the whole time she was screaming about how the dog is barking all the time and screaming, the dog's not. Like, at that point that she was like screaming about, that dog barks 24/7, the dog was completely quiet. And even the cops are looking at the fence like, bitch, we don't hear anything. Bitch, where? No. But, yeah, she was trash. And then after that, my dad gets home. and he hears about the whole issue, and he goes down to Century 21. That's not, if you don't know what Century 21 is, they're like, they sell houses and stuff, but that's where she works. That's where, who hired her, this woman who like freaked out on us. So, are you ready for this part? And this is kind of like the finish. I don't know what that was, but she like, so my dad goes up and is like, hey, like, this bitch did this. And these people, the first question they ask is, oh, are you a renter or a buyer? And then my dad's like, I'm a renter. That doesn't make any sense. And they're like, okay, bye. And just cut him off, condescending, made fun of him, and it was done. So, fuck you, Century 21. At least the one that's here. I don't know about other ones, but piece of shit place. Here. Yeah, I love you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I was waiting to spill that tea. Love you all. Oh, I just spat everywhere. Ew, that was gross. Alright, I love you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. If you guys did, like and subscribe. And leave a comment of like the craziest thing that happened to you. Like, I want to hear your story time video. Your story time. Okay, I love you all. And I will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye. Love, love, love.